cancel my hair appointment for this afternoon. I am too nervous to sit under a hairdryer.
Yes, Mrs. Whitney?
I am a wreck, an absolute wreck.
Well, it's only to be expected. You've been through some very traumatic experiences in the last few weeks.
I've been through hell. This is the worst time of my life, and who cares?
You know, it's at times like this that you find out who your real friends are. I certainly care, Mrs. Whitney. And I'm sure that Spencer does, too, don't you?
Of course.
I mean, he's always been so good in times of stress. I remember Mrs. Bowie used to say
If you'll excuse me, I'll finish clearing up the dining room.
I feel like a prisoner in my own house. You know, I walk out the front door and there's some big ape out there with a camera.
They certainly do like to take your picture.
Maybe I should keep that hair appointment.
Well, I can reschedule it for tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, Mrs. Fernwood called. She offers her condolences. And she wants to know if you're still planning to attend the Beaux Arts Ball. It's the first week in May.
Isn't that incredible? Here I am in mourning, and Mrs. Fernwood wants to know if I'm going to attend the Beaux Arts Ball. Wonder what she's wearing. She'll probably come as Marie Antoinette again in that horrible wig. Aren't people incredible?
It's really disgraceful, you know.
And then on top of that, this mad woman called me and threatened me yesterday.
Threatened you?
Yes.
Well, that's awful. Have you told the police?
I don't know what good it would do. When it comes to the Whitney house, the police are absolutely non-cooperative. Heaven knows why I don't.
Well, what did she tell you?
I don't want to talk about it. What about that lawyer? Isn't there a lawyer coming today? What's his name?
Yes, Marvin Ainsworth. He's due at 11.
Well...
Oh, you also asked me to remind you to call the executive director of one of the companies you now own, Phillips Industries, a Mr. Kershaw.
Right. Why don't you do that? Let's get it over with. Get him on the phone.
Mr. Kershaw, please. Mrs. Schuyler Whitney calling.
Thank you. Mr. Kershaw.
Yes, Mrs. Whitney. I was expecting to hear from you when you felt up to it. May I offer you my deepest sympathies?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now that I have the responsibility of my husband's businesses, there is a little request I would like to make of Phillips Industries.
Anything at all, of course.
I am not very happy with one of your choices of legal counsel. His name is Cliff Nelson. I would like him removed immediately.
I can't believe I'm sitting here having breakfast with someone whose talents are so diverse and elusive.
Thank you. I think it looks pretty good myself, huh? Rehearsals are going along very well over at the Whitney Theater. I'm telling you, this town's going to be surprised.
How wonderful.
Just goes to show you about talent.
What about it?
Well, you can't tell where you're going to find it. I mean, look at this acting company. We have a waitress, a choreographer, a dancer, and a nightclub impressionist. All brilliantly gifted.
How come you didn't mention the lawyer?
Modesty. Jinx Avery is a professional actress, and I expected her to be terrific, but boy, Jody Travers is a natural. I mean, she dove into that part as if she were a shark. I mean, you're going to be impressed. Earth to Didi.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cliff. I guess I just haven't caught fire this morning.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I guess I just need a good night's sleep.
Didi, you're not a very good actress.
Oh, Cliff, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take the bloom off your enthusiasm.
Didi! Here's cereal. And Cliff, your eggs. Did I get that right?
Oh, well, sure you got it right. Let's see, boy, I don't know why I didn't order cereal this morning. I guess it just slipped my mind.
Oh, well, maybe you can have cereal for lunch. Hey, want to hear some hot gossip?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sure.
Sid had a date last night, and you'll never guess with who.
With whom?
I knew you'd never guess. Smiley Wilson.
How about that?
I think it's so romantic. It really is. And you know what? I think she really likes him. I mean, really likes him.
Really?
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 How can you tell?
Oh, this funny look she gets on her face whenever he comes around. I mean, personally, I think the man's a bit strange, but she says she's always been a sucker for a guy who could make her laugh, and Smiley does that all right.
Well, we could use him around here this morning. Maybe he could cheer up old Stoneface over there. She hasn't smiled since we sat down.
Well, I came close with cereal for lunch.
Well, Cliff, Didi has a very good reason to be depressed. Don't you, Didi?
No.
Well, sure you do. And I know exactly what the reason is. You see, she made another resolution never to see Calvin again.
Oh, what's so depressing about that? She makes that resolution all the time. That's easy to break.
No, wait a second, you two. This is not just another resolution to be broken. This time it's final. And if you don't mind, those happen to be my eggs.
Oh. Well, I guess you won't have to have cereal for lunch after all, huh?
Starr, now don't you hang up. Look, don't shut me out, baby. Please, the only way we can clear the air is to talk this thing out, please.
You haven't made talking about it very easy, Calvin. I don't see that there's anything left to say. Well, I've been in New York. You've been out shopping around. It's that simple.
That is not fair. It is not that simple. I mean, how could you just get up and walk out of here, go back to New York without even giving us a chance to talk this thing out?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Calvin, don't sound so injured. If you think the best defense is a sudden offense, then forget it. Those mill tactics won't work with me.
You haven't even given me a chance to
What? Explain? Why go over it again and again? But I will admit, I was shocked. But I realized that what Raven Whitney told me was nothing but the simple truth.
Baby, look, I was trying to figure out a way to explain all this stuff to you, but that... Raven just got there first.
One thing I'll say for you, you didn't try and lie your way out of it. I could take it. If you're a boozer, if you were a gambler, or a rat of any other kind, but you took out a hunting license and were looking for fair game, and apparently you found it. And that's the one thing that I find impossible to forget. Or forgive.
Look, did you ever once stop to think that there might just be a reason?
Are you gonna blame it on me?
I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming things, I don't know, circumstances in our lives. Maybe we didn't handle it all so well. Maybe I wasn't giving enough. Maybe you weren't. Look, I don't pretend to understand the reasons, but I'm trying to tell you that...
All you have to understand now, Calvin, are your own feelings. Your feelings about me. And about this Didi Bannister.
Starr, look, if we can't get together and spend some time, there is no way that understanding is gonna happen. I mean, that is the reason you came home in the first place, wasn't it? So we could rediscover each other?
I discovered something, all right. But it wasn't what I expected.
Baby, please. Let's not let it go. Not this way, please.
Good morning.
Hello, Jody.
Am I interrupting a big thought?
No, just a few small ones.
Where's Nicole? She left for the studio?
No, she's sleeping in this morning. I know she deserves it. Was up real late last night covering that big fire downtown.
Miles, would you like to talk?
Sure, what's the matter?
Nothing with me. But the atmosphere in this house has been really a little heavy lately.
You've noticed that, have you?
Yeah, I've noticed that. I haven't been that busy. Miles, what is it? What's wrong with you and Nicole?
Nothing that the two of us can't handle on our own. It's just that we had a little misunderstanding. And Nicole blames herself for it. She thinks I still blame her, which I don't. Not really. It's gonna take a little time for that to sink in, that's all.
Can I ask you what it's about?
No. No. Because it concerns privileged medical information.
Okay, then I won't push. I just want you to know that I'm aware and that I'm here.
I know that. Look, tell me about Jody Travis. My God, you've been so busy lately, we haven't even seen you.
Yes, where do I begin? Except that it's a wonderful time for me.
I'll bet it is. With Gavin free, finally, to do whatever he wants.
Gavin and I have never been happier.
Well, you deserve it after all you've been through this year.
Yeah, you know, it's not only Gavin's freedom. I mean, that is by far the biggest part of our happiness, but we're having a good time working with the theater company.
That's a nice break for you, isn't it? Kind of involvement you need right now.
It's funny, Gavin has just turned out to be a natural-born director.
Yeah, but you love it too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like it a lot. And the other people in the company tell me I'm doing a good job, so I just hope they're not lying. Anyway, I feel pretty secure about it.
Oh, that's good. I hope the company does well, for your sake as well as for Monticello's. It's just, there's one little thing that worries me about it a bit.
What's that?
The fact that you have Raven Whitney as a patron. I wish it were anybody in the world except her.
Yeah, that thought has crossed my mind, too. I think we're in for some trouble.
With Raven, you can never tell. All right, I gotta go. Listen, you have a good day,
okay,
all right?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, by the way, Raven does know that, that Gavin Wiley is directing the company, doesn't she?
I don't know.
Where's this stupid Ainsworth guy? It's 2 minutes after 11. Hello?
Mrs. Whitney?
Yes. Who is this? Hello? If you don't say something soon, I'm gonna hang up.
Mrs. Whitney, I just want you to know that money isn't yours.
Morning, sir.
My name is Marvin Ainsworth. I believe Mrs. Whitney is expecting me.
Yes, come this way, please. Mrs. Whitney? Mr. Ainsworth?
Oh, Mr. Ainsworth, it's so nice of you to come all this way to see me.
Oh, not at all, Mrs. Whitney. The least I could do in this troublesome time is your time of bereavement is to be helpful. And I think you're very brave to tackle the estate matter so soon.
Well, sometimes things must be faced, no matter what the personal cost. Please sit down.
Oh, thank you.
I must say I'm completely at your mercy. I really know nothing about any of these affairs. I'm just going to have to place myself into your capable hands.
Oh, just trust me, dear lady. If I may say so myself, I am regarded as a first-rate probate man. And I'm delighted to relieve you of all the burdensome details involved.
Oh, I can't tell you how great that makes me feel. I made the big mistake of talking to an incompetent attorney. It was really stupid of me. I mean, I know if someone wants professional help, they have to talk to an expert, right?
Oh, every time. It's absolutely the only sensible rule in the long run.
Oh, Mr. Ainsworth, it's just so nice that you're sensible. This other man...
I beg your pardon. Is this anyone I know?
Oh, no. I think that he should remain nameless.
Oh.
But he went out of control when I suggested the tiniest little deception. It was so simple, and it would have made everything so much easier.
Oh? What was that?
Well, you know, my husband didn't leave a will.
Oh,
What is that called?
intestate.
Right. And I know that my husband would have left me everything. And I suggested to this lawyer that we simply put his name under a few little words on a piece of paper. What do you think?
Oh, Mrs. Whitney, you are a remarkable woman. No. That wouldn't do, not at all.
All right, Ainsworth, forget it. Just tell me how exactly I can get this money without going through a bunch of court nonsense.
Oh, yes. Of course, dear lady. Of course.
Nora, I hate to bother you, but could you please hand me that dish?
I don't know why you're so unfriendly to me, Spencer.
I think it's because you invited, Nora.
Wouldn't it make life a lot easier if we were nice to each other like we used to be at the Bowies?
Well, I'm not so sure I could handle that rare atmosphere. After all, you were only a maid at the Bowies, and now you become a private secretary.
I still consider us equals.
It's very generous of you, Nora, but just count your blessings that I don't tell Mrs. Whitney what you're really like. I mean, you blackmailed your way into this place. Even though it's absurd, you think I'm involved in the Whitney murder.
Then why did the blackmail work?
I just didn't want to create a fuss. You know, Mrs. Saxon and Mrs. Whitney have been through quite enough lately.
You're so transparent, Spencer.
Nora, if you're really serious about us getting along, would you mind taking this tray into the kitchen while I see if Mrs. Whitney needs anything?
All right. Just please be more cheerful.
Oh, there'll be no problem there. I assure you. Now, don't worry, Mrs. Whitney. I guarantee the money will be yours.
Didi! Hey, Didi!
What is it, Cliff?
Can you get that, please?
Actors. Nelson and Bannister. Hold on just a second, please. It's Mr. Kershaw, Phillips Industries. Are you in?
For my bread and butter? Are you kidding me? How do I look, huh?
Terrific.
Hi, Dan, one of my favorite people.
Look, Cliff, what I'm about to say is tough enough, so I'll just get to the point and get it over with.
Sure.
There's been a management decision at the highest level. I really feel rotten about this whole thing.
Hold, Dan, you said you were going to get to the point of all this?
Yeah, well, it's this. You're being replaced as the corporation's legal counsel.
What?
I'm sorry. Personally, I've been more than satisfied with your work, but the new owner has her own law firm, and she wants them to represent Phillips Industries.
The new owner? I didn't realize there was a change of ownership over there.
It's the parent company. Before this, we were left on our own to make our own decisions, but now, oh, I don't know, Cliff. Even my head could be on the block. Anyway, I'm really very sorry.
Oh, yeah, so am I.
Listen, if you ever need a recommendation...
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Didi.
Yeah, Cliff.
We just lost the Phillips account.
You lost the Phillips Industries account just like that?
Yes. It couldn't have happened at a worse time.
That means the partners of Nelson and Bannister have lost one of their main sources of income.
Exactly. Oh, this is an awful blow.
Okay, Cliff, what happened? What exactly did Mr. Kershaw say?
I don't understand it myself. He said something about the parent company getting a new owner, wanting to do things differently.
Who is the parent company, anyway?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. This is terrible, Didi, at this time. It's SGW Incorporated. Never heard of it, but I certainly will. Calvin, you spend more time here than you do at your own office.
Actually, lately, he spends more time here than you do in your own office.
I know. You want to talk to Didi. alone.
Calvin, you really shouldn't have come here. It's not fair. Especially in light of our last conversation.
I know, I thought I'd take the liberty anyway. Look, I just came by to tell you that I've taken a leave of absence from the force.
Now, why do you think that would interest me?
Because, Didi, I'm taking it to go to New York.
Will outside the